Chapter 56. Dishonesty on the pretext of charity. There are various ways of taking the property of one's master to one's own use that have a kind of blind or cover over them which tends to conceal their real guilt. The devil is always ready to bring these excuses to mind. One is, "Oh, I have only given away to poor people something that wouldn't amount to much, a few grains of sugar, or a little tea, a lump of butter, or some victuals that won't be missed, a few old clothes, a worn-out tablecloth, or some half-worn towels, and so on." This covers a good deal. I dare say you have heard of smuggling, that is, secretly getting goods from other countries without paying the duties and so selling them cheap. Large fortunes are sometimes made in this way. The practice of smuggling away goods out of the house you live in, perhaps to a mother, a sister, or a neighbor, covers often a brisk trade, which if it were all summed up, would make a large amount. It goes on quietly, but continually. It is like the circle made by a stone thrown in the water, that enlarges all the while. It is petty thieving, and deserves no better name. It may wear the cloak of charity, but it is not the less stealing. If one makes himself master of another's goods without his consent, he steals. It makes no difference whether he keeps them for his own use or gives them away. Objects of real charity may present themselves. They may beg you to help them. They may ask for this or that which they see you have in charge. But you should never let them have anything unless you first go and get the authority of the owner. It is a temptation, I know, for a poor girl who has a widowed mother or sister to help when she sees plenty around her that will be so acceptable to them and will not be missed. But it is a temptation of the enemy of souls, a very great snare for her ruin. Turn a deaf ear to all such temptations. Turn a deaf ear to every so-called friend who tries to coax or flatter you, or to work on your kind feelings to make you fall into this snare. Say, "Not a penny's worth will I give away." Do as St. Zita did. A more benevolent, kind-hearted creature than she was could not be. She never refused any poor person, but mind you, it was not at her master's expense. She saved her own wages. She denied herself many a thing to eat, many a thing to wear, and gave that to the poor. Oh, how pleasing such charity is to God! It observes the everlasting precepts of justice out of regard and respect to Him, and relieves the poor of Christ at the same time. But the other kind of charity is no charity at all. It is robbing your own souls to give to others' bodies. It is outraging and offending God on the pretense of doing Him service. Make it then your rule, and keep to it, to give away nothing that you do not own yourself, or which you are not clearly authorized to give away. So will you avoid a world of trouble and a disturbed and doubtful conscience.